All right, we are live with Iconic TV, and I have the funnest show for you today because we are talking about the thing that makes the biggest difference in your business in 2024, and that is branding. In fact, it'll be making a difference for several years to come because the market is so oversaturated. There's so many people doing something similar to you, and how do you actually set yourself apart? How do you look different? And this is what we want to bring to the table today, branding. And I know not everybody went to design school and that wasn't your thing. You just wanted to get your messaging out. But the problem is that you might be getting it out in a wrong way. That's not making you enough money. And if you know how to do branding, you're going to know how to turn your business into millions and millions of dollars that will make a bigger difference in the world. You'll attract more people and you'll have a lot more fun with it. My name is Dr. Connie Scavella. I am your host today and the founder of the Iconic Entrepreneur Movement. We also help business owners take their business, double their profits in 5 minutes. If that sounds like you, you're in the right place. Because here's the thing, you got into business with this big dream, this hope of what you're going to do, what you're going to create and put out in the world. And then you got into it and you realize this is hard, it's stressful, it's frustrating. And so what we do is we take your business from 6 figures to 7 figures in 1 year or less without any of the stress or the struggle or the overwhelm that you have been experiencing. And so I'm going to show you how you're going to do this. I've been doing this in companies for years. I've built 5 multi-million-dollar businesses from scratch and with no outside funding, sometimes with no knowledge of the industry. I'm also a 3-time #1 best-selling author, international speaker, and a business growth strategist. So I'm going to show you how to turn your business around on a dime. If you didn't make enough money last year, you're definitely going to make enough money this year if you follow what we do. So what's involved in this? There's basically 4 parts that you have to think about, okay? And this is what people come to us all the time. One of these is missing, sometimes all 4. The messaging. How are you putting your messaging out there about you, your company, and what you do to the market? Who is that market? Have you pinpointed the right people? Remember, don't sell to broke people. It's not fun, okay? Now, do you have the right model? We're going to talk about the shape of things to come, and then how do you turn all that into money over and over and over again? So here is today's agenda. We're going to talk about, does branding matter? Why do you need to build it? Why is it so important? How do you decide what to do? I'm going to give you some really interesting things to think about today and what is the cost of it. Okay, so we're all in business. We've got a great business. Now we've got to figure out, how long am I going to have this business? And do you know that it's hard to have a business? It's hard to grow it, but branding can make the difference. There's lots of companies that didn't have a great start, but they got their branding right. And so what's the likelihood of your business surviving? Hey, in the first year, 80%, okay? 70% of businesses will survive to the 3rd year in business. 50% will survive to the 5th year, and only 30% will be in business 10 years from now. So next time you go to a networking event or come to one of our live workshops, we gather 10 people around. Guess what? How many people are going to be there? Only 3 left after 10 years. Okay. So this is going to change things for you. This is going to make a dramatic difference in your business. Grab some paper, grab some pen, say hello. If it's your first time, go click above, click on that link and let us know that it is your first time. Also, you can subscribe down below here. Okay. If you're watching, subscribe so you can get notifications of when we come live, okay? And if you're a pro, you've been here before, say hello. Let me know who's here. Just type the word pro down below, okay? So how much should you do, okay? Let me start here. 8%, okay? Small businesses in the U.S., they've been recommended, okay? If your business doesn't have $5 million yet, the recommendation is to spend about 8% of your revenue on marketing. So how much is that? Okay, let's say you're making $150,000 a year in your business. That's your revenue. Okay, if we divide that out monthly, you're making $12,500 a month. Not bad, right? It's a good start, but how much should you spend on your advertising? Putting that message out there, right? If you have a budget, if you're not going organic, then you need to be spending about $1,000 a month on your marketing. So are you doing that? Okay. Put down below how much in the comments, put it down there right now. How much are you spending on marketing? You might have zero marketing budget. That's okay. I started that way too. Okay. I did go from 0 to 1.4 million without any spend on marketing or advertising. And I did it all organically. And then when I did do some ads, then it grew even faster. So it's where you are and how you want to start, right? Okay, so let's take a look at some of these metrics that we're going to cover, okay, as far as branding goes. And I have a super special surprise for you. Please, please, please stick around. You will love it because, and I mean, really love it because this is something that you can do for Valentine's Day coming up, okay? So the four brand metrics, okay? You have to look at the origin. That's like your origin story, right? How did you begin? Every business needs a story, okay? So it's you, your story, your message, your medium, okay? The other metric is that we look at the optics. What are the graphics that you use? The packaging, the shape, the colors, all of that matter. I'm going to show you some of ours here. And the outlay. How are you distributing this? What are the locations? How often are you getting your brand messaging out there and your products and your services out there? How are you partnering with other people to get it out there? How accessible are you? Like, do you only come out for certain periods? Are you available all the time? Are you 24/7? Are you invitation only? That matters as far as your brand. And then, of course, the offer, making that money. So how complex is it or how simple is it? How are you pricing it? How did you come up with your pricing strategy? And what kind of support do you offer with that offer? Is there a guarantee, right? Do you have risk reversal in there? So you're taking away all the concerns that people have. What are the reviews? That's going to help your offers as well. People are always wondering those four things. So those four things, right, match to the four M's that we talked about in the beginning. Okay. So let's really dive into these a little bit more. And I want to look at, let's look at this because this is important. Why does branding matter? What are some of the statistics that you need to really understand? 82% of revenues online, okay, is because that's where people visit your business first. They look at not revenues, excuse me, reviews. Okay. So if you don't have a good brand, good reviews, which we talked about in that fourth step, 82% of people are going to check you out before they even visit. 72% of you only engage if you customize your marketing messages and tailor it to what they want. This is important. Okay. You must know your market. And then 20%, okay, the cost of rebranding is 5 to 20% of your marketing budget. Okay. So if you're not doing it right now, we definitely want to get you there. Okay. So let's take a look at some of these branding facts and these areas that you want to focus on. Okay. So first one, the right brand can make you millions. This is so true. So what's the right brand and what is the right brand for you? Okay. You want to think about this. What's your name? Okay. The name is so important. Okay. Think about the top 3 brands that you can think of right now. What are they? Usually people come up with Coke, Apple, IBM, Tesla, right? There's some big brands, Airbnb, Netflix. These are big brands that you come up with. So how do you name that brand? And you want to make sure it's viable. So does that match? Is it available, right? Here's an example of Zobni, right? They have that name, but guess what? That is spelled backwards, inbox, okay? And so they had some conflicts there. There's some people that have a name that they reworded it, spelled it differently, but it still sounds like something else, okay? So then you have to watch about the legalities. Here's something interesting for all of you entrepreneurs. If you have the word entrepreneur in your brand and you're trying to brand that and trademark it or register it, guess what? You're going to get sued because Entrepreneur Magazine spends a full time, has 5 people on staff just to go after people who try to brand the name entrepreneur. So if you have that in your branding name, watch out. Okay. It's going to be very expensive. They can go back and get all the money you've made over time since you started that brand times 3. Also the linguistics. How does it sound? Does it sound weird? Does it roll off the tongue? Is it easy to remember? There was a time back where Clairol had this thing called the Mystic. It was like a hair appliance, curl your hair and stuff like that. The Mystic, okay, sounds real cool, right? Because it would push out some mist. But guess what? In Germany, do you know, guys know? Obviously, some of you know I'm German, right? But in German, the word mist is manure. So now they're marketing a manure stick, right? So the words that you're going to use for your brand are very, very, very important. And it gets harder and harder. On top of that, the URLs, right? It's harder and harder to get a .com. And then some people try to get a .biz, whatever, but that's not memorable. And it's not going to work. So you have to be even more creative to get a good .com, right? So the right brand matters. So what about the next thing? Okay. You need to have a really good story. Story is what makes the brand. And you think about, well, what's a story about coffee, right? Well, who's got the best coffee story out there? It's Starbucks. We were just talking about this today in a workshop. And hey, you can spend $10 on a cup of Starbucks, but it's not the coffee. Okay, what they did is created a brand and an environment because he went to these, Schultz went to these coffee shops and they were just so inviting and warm, and the smell and this community feel, right? People usually don't just run in for Starbucks and run out. A lot of times they hang, they linger, they come, they meet there, they bring their computers, work half a day there, right? And that's the feel that they want. That brand allows them to serve you a $10 cup of coffee where you could just go to 7-Eleven across the street for $1.25, right? So it's part of their branding. So this is what you want to think about. What is the story behind it? Airbnb has a story. Tesla has a story. Netflix has a story. How the guy was so tired of getting charged fees at Blockbuster, so he started the Netflix delivery. Okay. And so what's the story behind you, right? As you guys know, we have a lot of our stories, like we talk about cubes, right? And everything we do is in fours and then four squares. And we compare, right, this is our clear cube to how people usually start. Very confused. They're more like a Rubik's cube, spinning and spinning and spinning, trying to figure out, how do I make my business work? I can't get all sides to match, right? And it's a mess. And so we come along and we give you a clear cube like this one. Okay. So it's part of our brand. Also the SOAR brand, right? My book and the concept. And so you'll see all the time we have everything about flight and airplanes and speed. Okay. All part of our story. Okay. And if you don't have the book SOAR, type the book, hashtag SOAR. I'd love to get you a copy. Just type hashtag SOAR and I'll be happy to get you a copy of that. Okay. So story is very important. A lot of you might have heard of Joseph Campbell's, story theme that he has. But there's the story, and then you also, with your name, you've got to have the tagline underneath it. So when you have that, those words matter too. Okay, so you've got to keep it short and simple and easy for people to remember, and also visual and emotional. Okay, people remember if you can put them in a scene. The brain works in pictures to move into action. You've got to emphasize it. It's unique. Okay, so be original, and you can even be a little shocking, right? So SOAR comes out of the fact that I died, had a near-death experience and soared up above my body, and I could see all this stuff. And so now I can do the same thing in businesses, and I have a unique perspective to be able to see a business from a lot of different vantage points that the owner can actually see. And that's why we make them go from 6 to 7 figures in net profit in a year. And also consider your target market. So that's very important. So now I can't go into a whole story thing here today, but let's take a look at story, right? You have a backstory. And to set that up, there's different parts that you want to talk about. Okay. So you first talk about the problem or the challenge that happened. Okay. What happened? Well, I died. I had cancer for the second time before I was 30. And this is how I healed. That was the problem or challenge. Okay. Then you talk about the internal part of the story and the external part. What happened? Like what were you thinking and going through, and what was on the outside happening, right? And then you say, what was that change event? Something happened that flipped it around. Okay. all of a sudden I wasn't sick, I wasn't dying, something happened, okay? And then somewhere along the line you have a guide and there's a spark, something changes everything. You're like, hey, I can do this, this is going to happen, right? I found this method, this thing. And then you talk about the result. And all of that is going to tie in to your brand story. Now, if that sounds overwhelming, okay, please say #call, okay? And we have a lot of different resources we can get you to help you pull out that story out of you and start putting it down and putting it into a formula that actually works for your business. It is the coolest thing because look at some businesses that you don't really remember, maybe that you've passed through, and then like, what's the story? If you don't know the story, you're not going to be interested. We are emotional creatures and we love a movie and a story and the drama. Just look at social media, right? And you have to put a story into your business, okay? So we are the iconic brands, right? Everything is iconic. And so we have, our iconic masks here, right? I'm not going to put it on, okay? Our iconic shield, our iconic manifesto. So do you see how there's this constant theme of everything? And, the story behind the cube is that I have a physics degree. And so a cube, right, either way you move it, it's flat, it's balanced. But if you look at the elements chart and the carbon model is the shape of a cube. And so carbon is the only indestructible element in atmospheric pressure, right? And so that's what we want for the entrepreneurs that we work with and the business owners to make sure that they have an indestructible business. And so we use what's called 4 square methodologies. Everything you do is in 4. That's how the brain learns in sequence. More than that, you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to be overwhelmed. So this is all part of our story. And notice it's very layered. Okay. So it takes a while to do. So don't do it on your own because you're too close to it. Okay. So this story is important. It's okay to be different. And it's your difference maker. I'll talk about that next time, but making sure that you stand apart from everybody else rather than blending in with everybody else is the key. Okay. So when I was young, I used to get bullied and beat up all the time because I was completely different, right? We come from Germany and I'm an accent and I look different and I dress different and sound different. And kids don't understand that. And so they used to beat me up and bully me and it was hard. And I finally went to my mom like, this is just ridiculous. She's like, don't worry about it. Your difference is the difference maker. And the thing that was all that people always made fun of me about, I go into a area in America and it's the suburbs, everyone's blonde, blue-eyed and thin-lipped, and clearly I'm not. And she goes, Connie, your difference is going to be your difference maker. And my first $1 million business was in the modeling field, right? So you can do the same thing. You just have to pull that story out. Okay. How many of you were bullied at some point in your childhood, right? It's scarring for some people. It scars you for life, right? But you can get over it. Okay. So some of the tips that I want you to, consider is that you have to find your story. This is so important. I want you to think long-term and do some research on the market. It's very important. Like what are other people doing? What are the trends? Like I knew that space and space flight and going to the moon and all this stuff when I started this company way back when were big things. And so I also tied into that, right? So how can you look at not only what's happening now, but what's happening in the future? And is it everlasting? Okay. Is it evergreen or is it just a fad? Okay. So you want to have a forever business, not a fad business. Now, the other things I want to talk about is if you need some help with your brand, okay? If you do want to build an iconic brand, I want you to go ahead and ask for help. Just type #call. I have my team and Angie and Tally and Sandy are here today. They are the best, okay? So I want you to reach out to us. We will be happy to look at your brand. I'll be happy to do a brand audit for you, okay? And see what's going on with your brand and what do you need to do. So if you need some help, please, please, please ask. At least say, can you just take a look? Okay. And I can give you feedback in 5 minutes. I can leave you a voicemail or whatever you need, or we can hop on the phone for 5 or 10 minutes. No problem. Okay. So let's keep going. And the keys to your brand appearance, okay? Looks matter, right? Presentation matters. And I hope you guys are in business for profit, okay? Not for loss. So make sure it's unique, but still looks good. And if there's a good cause that it fits with, that's always important, authentic, and it suits your target market. Okay. Those are things that you want to think about in appearance. But let's go into a couple more points because I have something exciting I want to show you. And I want to do it really quick. So the shape, okay, the right shape can make you millions. Some of you know that bottle just by looking at it. We can take the labels off and you know that's Chanel. Okay. So is there a shape of your business? We call it the shape of things to come. And that matters a lot. Okay. You might not think about it, but that product presentation matters. Even if you have an intangible or you're in a service business, you have to do what we call create a GPS, a geometric product sequence. And you have to shape your business in a way that you can describe it in the form of a shape that people can remember, because that's how the brain is going to remember you. Okay. You also want to consider topography. That makes a difference. So you have to choose that wisely. You could have really nice, fonts and all of that, but it might not match the product or the audience. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you know who your market is. Is it an elegant woman, or is it a carefree family, or is it, some young kids starting off in business? Who is your market? All of that look, the brand, the shape matters. You also have to understand that the right color can make you millions. What are the colors that you choose? Because colors are actually emotional things and they can ignite different feelings in you. And so let me show you this about colors. Okay. Here's very important. If you only get one thing, okay, two things, story and color. Okay. Figure out one color. There are companies that use a lot of black. Okay, you can think of those. Adidas is one of them, right? Companies that use a lot of blue, 30%. Facebook, IBM, who uses a lot of red? Netflix. Okay, and then, but here's the thing: 36% use one color, 30% use two colors, 4% use two or three colors, 4% use four colors, but don't do that. Okay. Avoid four colors. Less is more. Okay. And those are the most popular colors: black, blue, red, and fourth color can be all over the place. Our colors, as you can see with everything we do, are black, gold, and kind of a charcoal color. Where do people miss a lot? Okay. The biggest faux pas is in the strategy. They don't know how to build a strategy. And where's it? One of those areas is your website. So if your website isn't set up right, it's going to be a big problem for you. Okay. I'm just trying to get across to you guys how important branding is. So we'll be really getting this. Okay. If you are, give me some thumbs up or love or subscribe or whatever it is that you need to do. Okay. So let me know if this is making sense. Are you seeing where you could actually improve and enhance your brand? Okay. And so again, if you need some help, I want you to actually please book a call. Okay. There's so many ways we can help you. And there's so many ways having the wrong brand will actually kill your business. So here's what I want to do for you today. I said I'd give you something really awesome, and I'm going to show it to you real quick. Okay. And Valentine's Day is coming up. I want you to use this opportunity to rebrand, to put something out there and create something around your brand, but also make some money. Okay. Because this is a huge holiday and it's coming up in a couple weeks. So I want to give you a gift. I want to give you a done for you 3-in-1 branding package so that you can go and make an offer on Valentine's Day and make a fortune off of it. Okay. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to, let me see if I can play this really quick. Okay, so it's a 3-in-1 package for Valentine's Day. I'm going really quick on this, okay? And I'm going to show you a video at the end here. So if you don't have a conversion event, you don't have a way to make money, you've got 14 days and we put everything together for you. It's a promo bundle. Everything is done, all the products, the promotions, the emails, digital products. If you have courses, however you sell your stuff, emails, letters, everything is done for you. I did all of it. How to schedule it, all the posts that you want to have online, all your sequences, all the images, right? So you could have a course, you could have e-commerce, you could have a brick and mortar business, but guess what? Everything is done for you. All the images done. Okay. You have 105 different pieces in here that you can use and you can customize it. All you have to do is put your picture or your logo in there. Okay. If you want to change the colors and your colors are different, we have a color section in there. So that's the brand kit. And you just change your colors and all the colors will automatically change for you. It's 100% done for you. You can literally have your entire Valentine's Day promotion done overnight. It is the coolest thing. Okay. So everything is done. The images are done. The emails are done. If you have digital products that you sell and you have a course or something like that, even if it's just an ebook or something, and that's what you want to sell, great. We have them custom designed for that too. If you have a course, if you have a physical product, whatever it is that you want to promote, I want you to get it out there, right? Launch it right away. There's 105 pieces. I threw in some bonus pieces, okay? A bonus masterclass, some extra workbooks. I'm going to teach you about the love languages because it's Valentine's Day, a success quiz, and a clarity call so we can make sure we get everything right. All of that is $997. Plus, you can get it all today. Boom, $47. Is that not the best thing ever? Okay. I know I went really fast. We're running out of time. I'm trying to keep this within 30 minutes. And so if I talk too fast, if you want to go back and see something again, I want you to just do #replay. Okay. #replay. And I will get this for you. But let me just go over that again, just so you see it. This is the 3-in-1 package for Valentine's Day. It's the ultimate bundle. You can launch your Valentine's Day offer. Start it right now, okay? And get it out there. This is a holiday where people spend billions of dollars, 105 different pieces designed, everything for you. It is ready to go. And we have some live trainings and workbooks. Everything is done. I will even hop on a call with you to help you. And, we did a whole training and a study guide that we have for this on the love languages, because you need to speak the language and get the messaging right for your audience, right? And of course, all the bonuses, right? That all of those bonuses add up to a $991 value. You can go right there. You can just type #Valentine, #Valentine, okay? Or just go to www.theiconicleader.com V-Day Kit. www.theiconicleader.com V-Day Kit, okay? And so to see everything that you get, there's again, e-commerce courses, digital, whatever you do, everything is there. And the best part is it's perennial. You can use it again and again and again and again next year, okay? Because this is all about branding and giving you all the emails. How many of you hate to do emails, don't know when to do it, how often to do it? I've got it all. I already wrote all the sequences for you, and all you have to do is pop them out, okay? You want it? You should have it. This is yours. I want you to take this, grab it right now, and just go there to the link right there. I'll put some more videos of the whole thing, a lot slower, in the feed so you can see it. And shoot, it's $47. Okay, if you do it every year for the next 4 years, it's going to cost you about $12. So it's just super silly. There's no reason you shouldn't have it, because you probably haven't even thought about a Valentine's Day promotion, and I want you to start this. I've done the branding for you. All you have to do is put it out there, okay? And it will be completely unique to you because it's your colors, your logo, your brand, everything. All right, so that was branding in 30 minutes or less. I know, it's crazy. You know what? I have a whole entire additional set of things I didn't get to talk about. We'll bring that in, and we'll continue that. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Tell me what you love the most about this show. And remember, we are here every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, for Iconic TV, and we are going to give you the strategies and the principles that will take your business from 6 figures to 7 figures in 1 year or less without any stress, struggle, overwhelm, all gone. Okay, so be iconic, and we will see you next week.